Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for Game 2 in this best-of-3 showdown. Vici Gaming and LGD fighting for their Star Ladder Season 12 lives. That's only one more series they have to get through. One last opponent. But right now, LGD are looking at an uphill battle. They trail 0-1 in the best-of-3, of course. I'm LD, but I'm not alone. I'm joined here by the one and only Zyori.
You're never alone, LD. You've always got friends.
Thanks, man.
Oh, how nice. LGD, they get the Storm Spirit this go around, and hey, we get to see that Phoenix go through. We've seen these Queen of Pain bands pretty consistently, but boy, has the Phoenix risen to the occasion, LD. It's an Ice, Ice, Ice hero, kind of a classic, really. We've seen him play this hero even before it was really prevalent in the meta, but it seems more and more we see this bird picked up with more priority, and especially out here in the East, even second picked alongside the potent support and that of the Lion.
Yeah, this is just such. I think if you're LGD now, phase 2, you want to ban two heroes: your Tree and your Drow. Those are the two heroes that you're probably worried about going with the Phoenix. But then again, they do go back for the Bristle, who matches up pretty well against Drow, and they do have a Storm to jump her. So maybe they're not so worried about the Drow any longer. They're gonna ban the Jug instead. Still, whenever you see this Phoenix, it's not just the Phoenix, but it's if he has someone to like help him out in the laning stage. Be it a partner in lane like the Tree that we saw, can be a big difference maker. I think LGD was the team running those dual lanes yesterday, and or maybe it was IG. I can't remember which, but it is a very potent combination. For now, Vici Gaming gonna work on their second set of bans here. What do they want to take out?
Lots of options here. They may consider banning out the Wisp. Normally, I would say that's an obvious ban here with the Storm Bristle. Both of them are good Wisp partners, but I think Vici are actually feeling pretty confident against that Wisp this go-around. Sniper's still in the pool unless he gets banned out fourth by LGD. And I don't know. If I was Vici, I think I'd be tempted to say, you want the Wisp? Go for it. We know how to handle that little guy, and we'll give you a run for your money. And they're going to think about that a little bit longer, maybe contemplating themselves. What else comes to mind that's particularly strong here? Vengeful Spirit could be a smart ban also. LGD will need some supports, and that minus armor on the Dire side does give them a nice bit of control to the Roche Pitta, especially alongside the Bristle, who has quite a bit of minus armor himself. A lot of options here, but Vici will actually think about it a bit longer than usual.
Yeah, this is now getting towards the. We do have some reconnects, but it's just a cast. I was starting to wonder if maybe FY had lagged out of the game or something, because they are really eating into that reserve time. But this will probably decide the remainder of the draft. For now, they go with an anti-mage ban. Interesting. Lion is one of the better supports to lock him down, though not really one of those supports that can kill him too easily. So with that said, they are a bit lacking on physical damage here. Maybe they don't want to go for a heavy physical damage lineup, and thus the AM could become a bit of a concern.
They may be looking at a Medusa pick here, possibly. I mean, AM is very good against Storm. So
it's really not like a classic Vici Gaming hero, but yeah, that is a little. I feel it's either that or it's like they don't plan to pick much physical damage. That's the only other scenario I could really see an anti-mage ban. It is one of Sylar's stronger heroes for sure, but I don't feel like it's been a hero that's had enough success to justify the ban unless it's part of a bigger plan here for Vici Gaming.
That's kind of exactly what I'm thinking. And LGD, they will ban out the Chen. How Vici get to decide, do we want to ban out the Wisp? And they actually will. So still respecting MMY, and there it is, third pick Medusa for Vici Gaming. So they will switch things up a little bit here and, well, show us what the Gorgon's all about.
Good call, buddy. You nailed that one. All right, Dusa. Good against the Bristleback, in theory. It's not a hero that really worries about this damage over time. It does well in sustained team fights, and now Vici Gaming may be looking towards that Tree as the ultimate +1 to this disgusting team fight they've put together. For LGD, they're not the best lineup at just focusing down the Phoenix Egg, and I worry a bit for them in these team fights, but they do excel at spreading the map. To some extent with the Bristleback Storm, and they may choose to just continue in that vein. One hero that is out there, which neither team has gone for yet, is the Sniper. It may not be the best choice for LGD since there is already a Storm on the table. That said, though, we have seen Snipers just destroy Storm. If he has a lead, he's not that vulnerable to him, depending on who else can join the Storm for those tower dives.
Here's a good choice from LGD. Rubik will be their first support. Quite a bit of good stuff to steal, I think, at least for the most part. Not a bad Rubik game by any means. LGD, well, they could be a little light on stuns again, but they could look at something like an Ancient Apparition as their second support. Great duo with the Rubik, and not bad against the Dusa. Gives you that extra little bit to try and finish her off, though I've heard quite a few folks argue that if Dusa's going to shatter, she was probably pretty much dead anyway. Really more about that mana pool than an HP threshold, so we'll see what LGD have in mind, but Vici absolutely out of reserve time, LD, and they will grab the Drow Ranger, so good call for you, good sir. Maybe they're looking at a tree and here, 5th pick, if LGD will let him have it.
All right, as I hide the screen for just a second. Sorry about that, guys, but yeah, we'll hop back into the draft now. Doing mysterious stuff here in my Dota settings. Yeah, Drow Dusa. That is dirty. That is, and it goes really, again, I think whenever you see Vici Gaming pick Phoenix, if you don't ban Drow, you should not, it's because you're not worried about it, but you know it's a very likely pick. LGD probably expected this. If they were worried about it, I imagine they would have banned it, but I think they should be worried about it. They're up against 4 ranged heroes, running a Spectre now as one of their cores, with a Rubik support who is already not the strongest zoning support in general. They did not opt for that Skywrath or the Silencer. And this Phoenix, to me, is the real concern, especially if Vici want to round it out with an aggressive support that can lane together with them. Again, I'm thinking that it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to go for a tree. And in fact, Phoenix trees, it may just run all over the Spectre lane. I don't know how LGD are going to lane this. They need something very solid to help round out and solidify these lanes.
Yeah, I mean, Tree is great with Medusa, great with Drow Ranger. I think it's a fine last pick here. If LGD don't ban it out, it does limit their options a little bit here, but they will think about it through their reserve time. Any other bans that come to mind other than the Tree? Well, Tree's banned out, so what does that leave us here for Vici? Wind Ranger. Wow, Team Archer. Look at this. Oh, look at all these pretty ladies.
Oh, man. 5 ranged heroes, and I don't know if I would call Dusa a pretty lady, but I guess you're worried about pissing her off.
She's weathered, LD. She's experienced, okay? She's not ugly. She's had a tough life, all right? She's got snakes for hair. I mean, come on. Lesh, though, the final choice for LGD, an odd choice, if I dare say it.
This choice means that they have to succeed with their early lanes. Like, the Rubik Lesh have got to get things done in the laning stage. If they don't, LGD is going to get run over. Running a Spectre as one of their farmers, running another melee here on the Bristle against 5 ranged heroes and a Drow. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Now, it can work, to be fair. Vici Gaming have shown that the Rubik Lesh duo can win games. This was something they did a lot at TI4.
It can.
But it can also backfire horribly. And if anybody knows how to deal with it, it's the team that ran it the best at TI.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe not the team I'd want to pick Lesh into. Lesh is one of those heroes that I just want to like him so much. He's one of my favorite heroes from like way back in the day when I first started playing Dota, and he's just so bad now. The long cast points and sort of his clunky, I want to be in your face, but I don't really because I'm not that tanky, but I still need to be close to do damage. He has this weird kind of, I don't really know where I want to be in team fights to find that happy medium. And
yeah, you mean for Spectre, you're saying?
I'm talking about Lesh.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was totally off base, my bad.
No, Spectre doesn't quite have that same problem. Spectre has that, I want to be as close to you as possible. Get over here, why don't I have a hook? I mean, what do you think about support Lesh? How viable is it? Is this just a big gamble from LGD? It just feels like such a unproven pick for a game that carries so much weight here. I mean, if they lose this, that's it. There's run and Star Ladder 12 is over. Kaput! It's done.
To me, it's all in on the dual roam. I don't see how they win their lanes without it. Maybe they could deal with Ice and secure his farm, but then you're almost certainly losing your other 2 lanes, your mid and your off lane, and you're allowing Vici Gaming to just do whatever they want for their supports. They can get a lot of early experience. For now, it doesn't, maybe they're not going to dual lane. I thought they would send the Wind Ranger together with the Phoenix, but it may just be that Ice goes solo top, and Even if he is solo, though, can they really kill the Phoenix? If they catch him mid-dive with the lift, maybe, but generally as the Phoenix, you're just going to kind of wait out that lift, throw spirits out, and if they don't go for the lift to set up a stun, then you just end up out-damaging them with the Friar Spirits plus Precision Aura. I'm not sure, and that's assuming it's a 1v3. If FY goes top, which it looks like he may end up doing, this dual lane has the potential to win 2v3, flat out.
I completely agree, and that's where this Spectre pick seems a little bit. Yeah, you have these great aggressive roamers, but then you have this carry that doesn't really want to fight that early on. Maybe Sylar will go some sort of an Urn, Vanguard, or Drum build where we'll really see him fight early on to try and get an edge. But
you know, the crazy part is they don't even have a smoke either, and they're running the Rubik Lesh.
Oh my!
They do have early boots on MMY, but without a smoke, it will be very tough to set up kills. And you know, you see the ward coming down now. They're going to have good vision here of any potential movements for these supports.
Both mid laners get the bounty runes. I mean, I feel like an aggressive hero like Slark or something would have fit this strategy a little bit better, where they can get some momentum in lane and the Slark can just move around and start roaming. We'll see how it works out. I'll be very curious to see what kind of a build Sylar goes for. But quickly, let's introduce some rosters here. Radiant side, we've got Vici Gaming, the team 1 win away from securing a slot at the Starlighter Season 12 LAN Finals in Bucharest, Romania. Hal will be in the safe lane on the Dro Ranger, joined by Fenrir on the Demon Witch Lion.
Super
mid.
Man, they're giving up a first blood here. They got off the lift combo right off the bat, but although he does end up going down, I just want to point out how much damage LGD have taken. And this is when they catch him out level 1. So, great start here for LGD. They get the first blood, but I think still this dual lane can come right back. As long as they don't get caught. Isis used his dive, though. He dodges the stun, and that may mean the death of Shao. They're going to commit for this. A 1-for-1 now. A 2-for-1 overall with the first blood going the way of LGD. So still an LGD advantage here. Who actually got the first blood? Was it Sylar? I believe it was.
Sylar, yeah.
Great start for the Spectre.
Yeah, great news for LGD, and this off lane not going nearly as well as we had thought, at least not out of the gate, but still plenty of room for recovery.
They don't have a ward. The one issue for this lane is they don't have the ward off in the jungle, so they don't see these supports coming in, but you see Sylar, he walks up to hit the creeps once, and already he's lost like a fifth of his health. So, still a lane I think they can recover, but they do need to be careful about getting caught out.
Yeah, so Yao will be solo Bristleback in the off lane. He definitely won't have a very easy time. Hal with plenty of space. Bristle already relegated to stacking inches, but up top again, Ice initiated on. Shackle will latch on the MMY, but it doesn't matter. It's still a 2-on-3. Body blocks on the way, and your Lightning Storm comes in to try and slow down FY. It will just be another kill on the Phoenix. 3-1 here. This LGD tri-lane, quite successful so far.
Getting caught out? I think the lack of a ward is really hurting them. Once again, just kind of ambushed, little surprised, and normally that's a situation where Phoenix gets away, but unfortunately, he's been the one who's been dying here. Just hits level 2. FY's out-leveling him in this lane, and he doesn't even have his boots yet on the Phoenix, and nor did he go for the double rate of protection, which we sometimes see, and because of that, a little bit squishier, a little bit harder to position yourself. Will end up going down. He uses a dive to get back out to the lane. You know, as much as I want to say that the lane can turn, if they give up another kill or two, then it may get to that point where they're just too far behind. Sylar already building, it looks like his Bassi. That's going to help a lot against the Drow Aura. And he's also got the completed Poor Man's Shield. These are two small items that will make a big difference for the tri-lane.
Yeah, I mean, they've already made a pretty notable difference. He only has 10 last hits, still getting out-farmed by Hao, who's getting a lot more space in the lane, but more than making up for it with these kills, at least thus far. Xiao still trying to harass here, and they will have MMY returning back to the lane, and this time he does return with a smoke, something that you mentioned earlier, so they are ready to start rotating around now that they've secured some space for Sylar, rather. Now, the problem is, once they rotate out, I feel like they have to stay in this lane. If they try to rotate and gank mid, there's not much Sylar can do to find farm during that period.
Now, speaking of that mid lane, yeah, for now, Super is trading fairly evenly with Maybe. Maybe actually doing pretty well here. Hal winning his lane, but honestly not winning it that dramatically, all things considered. This laning stage going very well for LGD so far, but as the kills stop happening, with the Drow Aura and the 5 ranged heroes, we'll see them start to creep up in terms of CS, most likely. They trail 3-1, they've given up a first blood, and yet the gold is basically dead even now. Fenrir going to grab it in Viscera bottom. In the meanwhile, they have smoked and made their move mid, but FY was there. to break the smoke on Xiaowei. MMY still heading back in Viz, but where there's smoke, there's probably fire. And this time they see the fire first. They know most likely MMY is going to be backing up this Leshrac. Very unusual just to see a Leshrac off on his own. And, well, maybe they catch super anyway, though. The Lion waiting for the backstab to turn this around. They'll bring down Momoya. Now maybe on the run. Not level 6. This could be a twofer. FY getting off your wind run slow. The turn maybe gets nothing.
Uh-oh. Now Xiao 8 goes in. He finds one kill on the Lion. Can Super possibly bring him down here? He'll juke the Split Earth. Now a TP coming in, and Super will be pushed back to his tower. MMY looking for the lift, but it's still on cooldown. Not going to be able to close the gap. And Xiao 8 will actually get pretty low here. Takes a tower shot. Mystic Snake flies through, and he will live on about 90 HP. Great trade for Vici Gaming, and great setup from the Lion. LGD just unaware of the invisibility rune. They've got no vision on the runes, and that time it cost them.
And a lot of space now made for Ice Ice Ice. He gets level 4. He's got his boots. The recovery can begin. The healing can commence. But, well, again, this just goes back to Vici Gaming's understanding of the Leshrac Rubik combo. Well, right as I say that, it looks like Ice 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 may end up going down here with MMY coming in. They're going to get off the lift, the turn, and they will get the counter kill. He's going to burn Sylar low. A lot of pain's coming out, but not low enough to finish the job. In fact, still painting him.
Well,
was expecting a TP maybe, but
yeah.
nobody had one. Oh, nobody had one, so I'm not sure.
Still an even trade around the map, though. In the safe lane for Vici, Dro gets a kill onto the Bristleback, so both offlaners end up going down, with both position ones getting the kill. Down bottom, pretty straightforward, just a rotation over from Fenrir, turned him into the fish, and, well, Dro fried him up for dinner. So, pretty straightforward kills coming out on both sides. Now, Phase Boots up on the Spectre, and the Dro Ranger just with Power Treads, Wraith Band for now, 1,000 gold. We'll see if Hal maybe looks towards that early Mask of Madness, as we've seen oh so commonly.
Yeah, nice takedown there on the Bristleback, something that they definitely need. Looking at Yao, he has got a nice stack of Ancients building here, though. Already 3 picked up. Doesn't have a Wisp or any sort of healing partner. Nobody else really good at killing these, so it may take a little bit longer than what we saw last game before he can walk in and clear out that stack, but this will be some additional income headed his way. Now, on the flip side, Vici Gaming, they're a lineup that can kill these Ancients pretty early on, if they scout them out, and they also may be able to catch and punish the Bristleback there. We're going to see Yao look for another stack, it seems, but he's got to be careful not to lose his tower too early. It's time for smoke number 2, Andrew. Where does LGD want to go?
It looks like bottom lane will be their target of choice for now, but this is a really important gank for LGD. They need this one to happen. You look at the gold graph, and Vici have completely recovered from that slow start, and they're actually ahead by 4 figures worth of gold. Now they bump right into Hal, but Fenrir's here. Stun onto one. The haunt is going to be reality down bottom. Yes, there is. Sylar joins the party. Hal on the run, alive for now, but does end up going down to Sylar. Ice 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 swoops on in with the Icarus dive. No Supernova, but the Wind Ranger brings down the Lesh. Now Sylar left behind. Yao actually finds the kill onto the Lion. Spectre denies to the neutrals. Nicely done there, as now maybe hops in. He'll bring down Ice Ice Ice. Haste Rune online, but a shackle will latch. Unfortunately for Vici, no follow-up damage is there. It's a 2 for 3, kind of a 2 for 1, or a 3 for 1, really, with the Spectre denying to the Ancients. Not Ancients, neutrals, blah. But it's LGD that get the better of this fight, LD. It's an important gank, and they make it happen. Spectre comes in, finds a kill, and even maybe gets a little bit of experience out of that.
Yeah, 3 for 1, and then the deny on the Spectre. So ends up being a good fight, like you said, for Team LGD. They had to bring in the whole gang. It does hurt losing the Spectre, but ultimately, Sylar 3-1 and 4. They've had 8 kills. He's been involved in 7. They will be very happy with his start so far. In the meanwhile, I do want to point out Fenrir is already level 6, even before his own offlane Phoenix. They have that Finger of Death online.
Oh my.
And there's some easy kills here. Maybe pretty squishy on this Storm would be a great target if they can isolate him. And, well, I mean, frankly, everyone outside of Bristleback should be killable. Spectre only 750 health. He's not your ideal target with the 1-point of dispersion, but still someone that they could bring down with a +1.
Yeah. Now, Hal's build a little bit different here. I mentioned Mask of Madness, and not the way he wants to go. He's got the Claymore, so I think this is a Shadow Blade first item with this safe lane carry on the Radiant side. A little surprising here, and we'll see what he can do with it.
It's a good item if you get it really early. It can allow you just to take over the game. Also, it gives you a way to ambush the Storm, and that is an issue for Vici until they get their Blink Online, is they don't really have a great hero to catch him out. And although Fenrir's got an early level 6, it's still going to be a while before he farms a Blink. Completes the Tranquils, that's all he's got. So maybe the goal of this is just going to be to shut down the Storm as much as possible, but for now, that Storm is off in the Radiant Woods. He's in no man's land as far as Vici Gaming's concerned, and he's very unlikely to get caught out.
Yeah, so here we see Sylar actually not going for the Bassi with that Sage's Mask. Instead, he does pick up that Urn of Shadows, so this is a bit more of a combative Spectre build, kind of as I was talking about, and we'll see where he goes from here. If this is the beginning of the quest for the Relic, or if he looks towards something like Drums to keep the tempo where it's at. 3-1 and 4. Exactly how you want to play the Spectre in a game like this. Be very active, and I think, like you said, been involved in 7 of the 8 kills. Not surprised to see him farming quite nicely in terms of net worth, despite having relatively low CS, only 40 here at the 10-minute mark.
Double damage rune now on the Storm. This is another big rune for maybe. He got the Invis, couldn't get anything done with it, but this may be the one. Combined with the Haunt, and they do have the Urn as mentioned, so there's potential here to get some Urn charges to find some kills. At the same time, we're going to see MMY stealing Mana Shield just to tank up a little bit. And with 500 Mana, he will be a lot more durable thanks to this. But they go in anyway.
How durable, LD. How durable indeed. Down he goes. There's your Haunt from the Spectre. Reality and Xiao Wei comes in, but he gets fingered right away. Fast 2 for nil, but a buyback on the Rubik. Phoenix goes into the egg. MMY, he'll get stunned by the Supernova as he TPs in. Oh my, a bit disastrous for him as now maybe comes in to finish off Lion.
Nice
he'll get silenced by the drone. Now the zip across. LGD could possibly turn this, but no, it's a shackle on 2. Yao gets stopped in place. Now maybe buys back. Double buybacks from LGD. They get the kill on FY. How many more can they pick off here? The long-range zip gets super, gets ice, and now How dies as well. It's a full 5-man wipe for LGD. And it seems the buybacks were worth it as they not only defend their tower and take the fight by brute force.
What a buyback from the Storm. Oh man, that looks so bad for them. FY again delivering with the 2-hero shackle in the middle of the fight. And then they get the gust on the Storm as he completes a brawl in from, I think it was like this direction, lands around here, gets silenced, ends up zipping forward across as soon as the silence wears off, gets caught in 5 and just dies to that shackle. Auto attack follow, but doesn't matter. That's the buyback and completely turns the fight. That's the power of an early game buyback. Later on in the game, if you buy back on a core like that, it may not even end up being a great fight for you, but this early, definitely worth it. Top lane, there's a go on to Sylar, but he gets off the dagger before How's able to silence the even, throw out a power shot, and a swayed forward from the Icarus dive, but unable to bring down that Spectre.
Pretty close call, actually.
Little impatient there by How, it seemed. Like he thought the Spectre was going to back and just wanted to force it, but if he had waited, a second or two longer, they may have gotten that kill.
Yeah, or if he just used the Gust a little bit earlier, might have actually had the damage to bring him down. The Shadow Blade is completed now, so How with a little bit of extra damage and attack speed. Only level 9, though.
Middle lane.
Uh-oh, are we going to find a kill here onto Super? On the high ground, on the dire side of the river, but uses his Stone Gaze, repositions to where he wants to be. It's now FY that gets caught by the Vortex. Nice stun from Xiao Wei on the 2 supports. A lot of damage coming out is now Yao in the front line, spamming out those quills. The Lion goes down first. Now FY brought down by the Spectre, who does reality in. Shackle does connect onto Sylar, but all 5 heroes of LGD here. How now joining the party. Maybe they can find a kill on Sylar after all. The Frost Arrows flying in, but they don't have the damage, and they will stay on their side of the river. 2-0 going the way of LGD as they take another successful fight and find another 4-figure net worth game.
And that's why you buy that early Urn on Spectre. That's what makes the difference there. Without the Urn, he ends up going down. Instead, he's got constant mana regen, constant HP regen. Something the hero also tends to need is he's got to be in the middle of the fight by his nature, and thus often takes a lot of damage. They just can't seem to finish Sylar. He keeps on walking away on very low HP, and again, LGD finding pickoffs. The aggressive wards got planted down somewhere in the midst of that. One near the Ancients, one near mid, and they've had one off in the Radiant jungle. These wards are just so good for a lineup with a Storm and a Spectre. 2 of the best just gap-closing gankers early on. This is allowing them to get a lot of stuff done around the map, and it could have been a lot worse. MMY almost stole Stone Gaze there. He ended up only getting Mystic Snake, but It looked like it was going to be a total disaster moving forward.
Yeah.
It's a very good game for LGD. Not only are they up 3,000 gold, 5,000, 6,000 experience, but even if it were even, I would say they're in great shape. They're running a lineup that should have lost the lanes, but they just outplayed Vici Gaming. Aside from that one gank mid, they got a lot of kills top, and they've been able to snowball it into a strong mid game here, Andrew.
Yeah, Yao down bottom this whole time has been able to get a free tier 1 tower.
Uh-oh. Seems like I may have lost you there. Alright, well, it seems we've lost good old Zyori. We'll try to get him back on the line as soon as possible. In the meantime, there will be a teleport up towards the top lane from Xiao 8. And they make their go on Ice Ice Ice. Now they're going to lift him, toss him, drop him back into a stun. He'll end up falling, and they also look for FY. No way to cancel that TP. So he'll be able to retreat, but again, LGD in control of this game. They're the lineup finding the kills around the map. And let's see if we can find a way to get Andrew back in the game. Gonna use our plan B here. Not sure if he's actually got it set up. We'll find out. And they're gonna push this top lane right now. Ida coming out onto the tower. Your Shackle is gonna latch on Xiao 8 to start it. He's not that tanky. With the Impale coming out, now the Finger, they get 2 kills. VG Gaming able to turn that fight right around on its head, and a good exchange there. Andrew, are you with me? I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, I think he needs to unmute himself on our alternate platform. We'll get him on in a second, hopefully. In the meanwhile, Super.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
There we go. Back up engaged, LD. Hopefully you can hear me okay now.
Yeah, not sure. Looks like we're having some connectivity issues, unfortunately.
Always. So, what did I miss here? Looks like, well, Vici was able to defend no problem, and they turned it around for a counter push. Dusa will finish off that tier 1 tower top.
Nicely done. They also get 2 kills as well, and Haunt is used now. Where do they end up going? It's FY. They want to find the stun missing from Xiao 8, though. FY quick TP out. There's no way to cancel this, and he doesn't get out. That lightning, that last auto attack, just enough to get the job done, and this is a nightmare for Vici Gaming. Sylar has 2,700 gold at 16 minutes. This Spectre has been involved in 15 kills in 16 minutes against a Drow strat, a lineup that's supposed to win the lanes and dominate early.
Yeah.
It's looking so good right now for LGD.
It's been a fabulous game for the Spectre so far, and LGD will just keep the tempo high, and now they rotate mid, go for that tier 1 tower, and they will clear it out, lest it does go the way of Leshrac. How is Xiao 8 itemizing this game? Looks like nothing too crazy, just Basilius, Tranquil Boots for now, but does have about 800 gold saved up, and could look to make an investment into something like a Force Staff, maybe move into a Shiva's Guard. I don't know, what are you thinking here? What's the ideal way to itemize your support Lesh?
I'm not... I think just anything that helps you tank up. Maybe we see a Force Staff for Xiao 8. It's not really I don't think it's the best. Yule's is kind of a nice item for setting up solo stuns, but realistically you have the Storm and the Rubik to set you up. So I think you just want to go for like that Force Staff, maybe a tank item like a Vit Booster, or Point Booster, even BKB could be okay. A Drums wouldn't be terrible. But I think something cheap, cost-effective. I don't think the Yule's is the item we'll see, even though it is a great item on Leshrac in other games.
Yeah. So Vici going for a gank on the Spectre will not be successful. Now they just go right back to farming. Super about halfway to, I guess a little more than halfway to his Scotty. He has the ultimate orb and the point booster, and will just continue slithering his way around the bottom lane and may find himself in a rough situation here before too long. Big rotation from LGD headed down bottom. There's your zip forward. Sylar even using the Haunt for this. Vortex will pull Super back. He does get off the Stone Gaze. Petrifies 2, but without a tier 1 tower here, there's no one that can come in to help. And yeah, it's an easy pick-off. Maybe getting credit for that one.
And to make it worse, they stole Stone Gaze as well with a Bristle on their team. This is a lineup that can use that physical damage. Spectre, highest net worth in the game. Completed Radiance maybe flying out? Let's see. No, I guess he doesn't have the recipe yet. But I thought he had a little more gold than this. I guess not. Just got the Relic. Still in great shape. And now they're going to look towards the Roche. And FHG Gaming going to be forced to give this one up. They have no Dusa. They got no front liner to get into the pit. And I mean, we're talking a lot, well, at least I'm talking a lot about the Spectre, but there's a Storm in this game who's also having a great time. Maybe Bloodstone coming out soon. This is looking excellent for LGD.
Yeah, now Vici will get their mech completed on the Wind Ranger, and it pales in comparison to everything going the way of LGD right now, but still steps in the right direction. It will be the Aegis going the way of the Storm Spirit, no big surprise there, as Vici just continue to farm around, actually invading the dire jungle for now, both sides farming in enemy territory. Hao is still farming very nicely, though, here, LD. He's tangling for the top of that net worth chart. Really, all of the big cores farming quite nicely. The drop-off comes in the offlaners. That's where the Bristle has gotten a lot done. And, well, FY, he's had a little bit of a rough game here and has not been able to spend nearly as much time farming as this Bristleback.
Yeah, so much of this game just comes back to the way that top lane developed. But obviously with the Bristle, sure, he died bottom to the Drow, but the good news is he can catch up with Ancients. That's not something Phoenix can do. That's why we often see the Midas pick up on this hero as an offlaner. And they do have good late game. To be fair, they have a Dusa with a Drow buffing her up. So it's not to say that Vici Gaming are a bad late game lineup, but it's more that they could have crushed the lanes and they didn't. And that's going to be frustrating for them as we see a hasted Yao running onto FY. Could just TP out here if Yao wants to force it. But Yao doesn't really care. He's just content to farm it up.
Yeah, he's now picked up a Sanj also. Maybe SNY coming out for him if they want this Bristle to be a little more of a right clicker. Could also be a Halberd, which could go a long way here. You know what the Medusa wants to do with that Scotty, and well, could be worth it to try and have that disarm when she doesn't have BKB. Uh-oh.
On into the Radiant Woods. They're going to zip in onto Super. They catch him out again. And he can't even get off a Stone Gaze. He'll fall once more. Your double damage Storm going to work. Having a blast. He'll make it a double. And they're not even done yet. They could potentially push onwards. I guess they are done. LGD playing it safe and cool, calm, as collected as ever. Suddenly, Bloodstone up, 10 charges with an Aegis. Radiance is on its way. This is looking terrible for Vici Gaming, and we're not even done yet. A stun comes out from Xiao8 off the mark. Now a stolen wind run from MMY as a big ball forward for Maybe comes out. They drop the egg, as well as a silence from Hao trying to focus that egg down. They'll get the kill. Two Hero Shackle with nothing to follow it up. Hao next on the list, getting low, not dead just yet. They're going to commit the Storm here. The dagger gets it done, and they have a second life here, even a third with that Bloodstone if needed. They're going to dive on Defender. A buyback from your Drow. The Shackle connects, though. It follows him all the way back, and maybe they can even kill maybe a second time. Bloodstone deny, available if needed. He's low. He will use it. And now Yao, the man in the front lines. With Sylar out of sight, they get off the Stone Gaze, but still LGD tracing onward. They want to kill off another hero. On to FY they go. The stolen Stone Gaze being used to isolate and control him. Actually, yeah, that was the stolen Stone Gaze. Just double checking that. And now the dive forward onto MMY. In the end, Sylar cleaning up everywhere he goes. This man keeps on binding kills, and MMY is gonna live.
Oh my, this Spectre getting to the point of just being too big, and that's it, LD. They'll tap out. Vici have had enough. Only 22 minutes into game 2, they realize this is getting out of control. And we're moving into an ace match. It'll all come down to this final game for which team moves to the land finals of Star Ladder Season 11. What a nail-biter of a series this has turned into.
Yeah, 2 beatdowns, but especially this game. Oh my. I mean, if Vici Gaming were going to lose, I thought it would have been later than this. I did not really foresee them getting run over in the lanes, but again, that top lane, they expected a lot more. When you pick the Drow and you go Wind Ranger support,